With a resounding thud, you arrive in the world. Literally. Being born a rhinoceros isn't exactly a graceful entrance. One moment you're nestled in mom's belly, and the next, you're face first in the dirt, blinking up at the bright and confusing new world. But hey, you're not just any baby, you're a rhinoceros calf, a 100-pound bundle of squishy muscle and determination. Your wobbly legs don't seem to know what they're doing just yet, but that's okay. Mom's here, and she's got your back. Literally. She nudges you with her massive head, encourages you to get moving. You stumble, you fall, and eventually, you stand. Looking more like a clumsy toddler than a future titan of the savannah. Your first few hours are a crash course in life. Mom is a force of nature. 6 feet tall at the shoulder, 2 tons of muscle, and a horn that says, "Don't mess with me or my baby." She's the ultimate bodyguard, and she takes her job seriously. No predator in their right mind would mess with her, and that gives you a rare sense of safety. You stay close, drinking her milk and soaking in the world around you. The air smells of grass and earth. The wind carries the rustling of leaves, and somewhere in the distance you hear the faint roar of a lion. It's a reminder that life out there isn't all sunshine and daisies, but for now, Mom's presence makes it feel like nothing can touch you. Your first steps are awkward, to say the least. Those chunky legs of yours seem to have a mind of their own, and gravity is not your friend. But every fall is followed by a determined scramble to get back up. You're a rhinoceros after all. Falling down isn't an option for long. Within hours, you're following Mom wherever she goes, sticking to her side like glue. She leads you to water, to shade, and to patches of grass that seem to stretch forever. Life, for now, is simple and full of promise. Mom keeps a close watch, her eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of danger. You might not realize it yet, but she's your first and only line of defense in a world of predators. And her presence allows you to explore the world with a confidence you haven't yet earned. You sniff at the grass, stomp in the mud, and occasionally try to mimic her movements, though your tiny horn stub makes you look more adorable than intimidating. The early days feel like a dream, a time of discovery, protection, and endless curiosity. But beneath the surface, life is already setting the stage for the challenges to come. The world outside your bubble is harsh and unforgiving, and as you grow, the weight of survival will fall squarely on your broad, stubby shoulders. But for now, you're a rhino calf with nothing to fear. Enjoy it while it lasts. It doesn't take long for the dreamlike safety of your early days to crumble. As you grow, the harsh realities of life as a rhinoceros calf begin to set in. Mom is still by your side, of course, but she's no longer coddling you every step of the way. You're expected to keep up, learn the ropes, and start facing the world's challenges head-on. And, oh, there are plenty of challenges waiting. The first wake-up call comes in the form of predators. As a growing calf, you're no longer small enough to be entirely overlooked, but not yet big enough to inspire fear. You're stuck in this awkward middle stage, and predators know it. Lions, hyenas, and even crocodiles start eyeing you like a tempting snack. Sure, Mom's horn and size are still a strong deterrent, but she can't always be everywhere at once. The first time you're separated, even for a moment, the panic sets in. Every shadow looks like it's moving. Every rustle feels like danger. You sprint back to her side, heart pounding, only to realize she never stopped watching you. But the lesson is clear. Out here, even the smallest mistake can cost you everything. As you grow older, Mom starts giving you more independence. At first, it feels like freedom. Finally, the chance to explore. But that freedom comes with its own set of problems. Finding food isn't as easy as you thought. Sure, Mom used to lead you to the best grazing spots, but now you're on your own trying to figure out which grass is worth eating and which isn't. You make mistakes. Some leaves taste terrible, others leave you feeling queasy, and soon you learn to appreciate the simplicity of following her lead. Even finding water becomes a challenge. The savannah isn't exactly brimming with watering holes, and every trek to find one feels like a marathon. And then there's the heat. You never noticed it before, but it now feels relentless. The sun beats down on your thick skin, and without mud to wallow in, it's unbearable. Mud becomes your best friend, your armor against both the sun and the biting insects that seem to think your hide is an all-you-can-eat buffet. But finding the perfect mud wallow is another skill you're forced to learn on the fly. Sometimes it's too shallow, other times too dry, and every once in a while it's already occupied by a much larger, much grumpier animal. To make matters worse, the calm coexistence you thought defined rhino life starts to fracture. You begin witnessing the territorial battles of adult rhinos, huge, lumbering beasts crashing into each other with enough force to shake the ground. You stand at a distance, watching in awe and terror as horns clash and dust flies. These battles aren't just for show, they are fights for dominance, for territory, for survival, and one day you realize it'll be your turn to step into the ring. Life as a young rhino is no longer the peaceful stroll you thought it was. It's a daily grind of learning, dodging, and surviving. The world is bigger and scarier than you imagined, and while Mom's still there to guide you, she can't shield you from everything. The harshness of the savannah is sinking in, one dusty, sun-baked step at a time. Adulthood as a rhinoceros hits you like a freight train. One day you're a young, awkward calf, awkwardly trailing behind Mom, and the next you're thrust into the brutal solo life of an adult rhino. There's no handbook, no gradual transition, just you, your horn, and the savannah. The first thing you learn? It's a lot lonelier than you expected. Adult rhinos are solitary creatures, and while you might occasionally cross paths with others, those interactions are usually brief, tense, and punctuated by aggressive snorts or a quick clash of horns. Friendship? Forget it. The loneliness isn't the worst part, though. The worst part is the constant vigilance. Every moment of every day feels like a test of survival. Predators might be less of a direct threat now, you've got the size and strength to make most of them think twice, but they haven't disappeared entirely. Lions are still bold enough to test you, especially when you're not at full strength. And then there are the humans. Poachers, the most dangerous predators of all, don't care about your strength or your size, they only see the value of your horn, and their methods are as ruthless as they are effective. The sound of distant gunfire or the faint smell of humans in the wind is enough to send a chill down your spine. Finding food and water doesn't get easier with age either. As an adult, you need more. More grass, more water, more space. But the savannah isn't growing with you, it's shrinking. Every year, more of your territory disappears, replaced by fences, roads, and human settlements. Watering holes are harder to find, and when you do find one, you're likely to face competition. Whether it's from other rhinos, elephants, or even the occasional desperate predator, every drink feels like a gamble. And don't get started on grazing. The grass is often sparse and dry, leaving you to roam farther and farther just to fill your belly. Then there's the heat. Mud, your old friend, is still your best defense against the relentless sun and the swarms of biting insects. But finding a good mud wallow is becoming increasingly rare. When you do find one, you have to claim it, sometimes with your horn. And even when you succeed, it's a fleeting victory. The next day, the wallow could dry up, or a stronger rhino could take it from you. Nothing in the savannah is truly yours. Old age is the final challenge. The years take their toll on your body. Scars from battles and predator encounters accumulate, and your horn, once your proudest feature, becomes chipped and worn. Your joints ache, your movements slow, and even the simplest tasks feel monumental. You avoid conflict more often now, knowing you can't afford the injuries. But avoiding fights doesn't mean you're safe. Predators seek weakness, and even the lions that once kept their distance start circling closer. As your twilight years approach, you find yourself wandering in the savannah, reflecting on a life filled with challenges. You've survived battles, evaded predators, and endured the relentless pressures of a shrinking world. Life as a rhinoceros isn't glamorous or easy. It's heavy, relentless, and often lonely. But it's also a testament to resilience. Despite everything, you've stood your ground, carried your weight, and left your mark on the world. And for a rhino, that's enough.